Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey, hey. Come on in and get comfortable. Welcome back to my channel, Jaleesa, Reading Beyond the Book Cover, where we stay reading beyond the book's cover. My name is Jaleesa. Welcome if it's your first time, and welcome back if you are returning. First off, I want to apologize for any extra noise. I am busy washing and drying clothes. The air conditioner is going because where I live is hot and I refuse to be uncomfortable in my own home. Okay. This video is a follow-up to my last video, I believe so, my last review video. We're going to be talking about the third book in the Lexington, Alabama series. Woo! Insert clapping. And it's been quite a journey. But like I told you all in the last video, I don't have much to say. Even in my written review that I drafted up, it's less than 500 words. So that says a lot because I tend to overdo it, talking about the same thing over and over again. It's like, girl, the horse is dead. So I'm trying to make sure I keep this short and sweet, hopefully under 10 minutes. I'm looking at the timer right now. We're at a minute. So what I'm going to tell you straight out, we're still in the same setting. When it comes to this third book, the third book is called Love, Honor, and not Love, Honor, and Betray. It's easy to say that. It's Love, Honor, Betray. So don't put the and in there. So Love, Honor, Betray. It's the third book in the Lexington, Alabama series. And it's in the same setting, Lexington, Alabama. They do travel a little bit, just like they did in the previous book, but a little bit more. So the second book, it felt like we were stagnant most of the time. We maybe were within walking distance of a lot of the different places, but in this book, we're moving around. Setting is the same, but what is different is the character development as well as the pacing. So I'm going to just talk about those two things very briefly, and hopefully if you've read the other two books and you're trying to decide whether or not to read the third book, this review will help to sway you in one of the directions. So, setting. Like I said, we're moving around a little bit here and there, so I like that. The pacing, a little bit better. It was not slow. It wasn't medium and it wasn't fast. It was in between medium and slow. So it was like a brisk walk. It wasn't a leisurely walk. So that's a plus. The characters, there was character development. It just took a while. I want to say that we didn't get any real character development until maybe the 80% mark. So that was a little bit disappointing, but I'm okay with that. I'd rather see some development than none at all. And if I can remember correctly from my written review, I had it in front of me and then I closed my laptop and I was like, screw it. Let me just talk off the dome because I wrote it and I can paraphrase what I was thinking in my review that you are so free to go and check out on my blog, readingbeyondthebookcover.com. I'm going to leave a link down below. I always do. If you feel that I ramble too much here or it's incoherent, okay? Those are the key words when it comes to my videos. Just go to my blog. You'll be able to understand me there. But in my blog, I had partitioned it or segmented it. And segments, I put it in sections like, dislikes, and recommendations. So I'm going to do the same here. Long story short, when it comes to the first book, just to give you the premise of where this book is built from, we're following characters in a small town called Lexington, Alabama. In particular, the first two characters that we were in the heads of, or from the viewpoint of, are Maggie Wiggins and Hubert Wiggins. I don't talk much about Hubert Wiggins because I don't like him. So if you want to find out why I don't like him, just read the book and you'll see why. To me, he's a POS, okay? A POS. You don't know what that means? Look it up. UrbanDictionary.com. You're welcome. But Maggie Wiggins, she was the character that I enjoyed reading from. She was the daughter of an alcoholic and a former lady of the night, or a former prostitute, or the town prostitute. And her mother had found God, found Jesus, went to the church, but the father still was drinking alcohol. So she came from not necessarily humble beginnings, but like a pretty toxic situation when it comes to home life. She decides to get married to her best friend Hubert, who I do not like, and they have a kind of a marriage of convenience. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, right? And they end up having a child. I'm always gonna say this because it's the South. It's the American deep South. She has a church home, so of course she has it like made in the shade. She's married into a good family. Her husband, Hubert, he is a preacher's son. The preacher is a big upstanding man, has a large church. Most of the people in the town go there. So you can understand, like, she's coming from this toxic family unit, and then now she's into this other family unit that people would love to be like in her situation, as far as having the child, the family unit, the husband, all that good stuff, the beautiful dresses, the good scents, always smelling good. Like, everybody is thinking to themselves, I want to be Maggie. But what happens when all of that Maggie has stood for now for years, and everybody is looking up to her, when it all comes tumbling down? That's where the first book goes, and you find out what happens there, and it kind of drives on into the book 2 and 3. So we're now on book 3. I didn't say much about book 2 because that was just a blur. And if you want to know how I felt about it, I have my review. I'll put it in the cards above. But book 3, like I said, I segmented it into sections of likes, dislikes, and recommendations. I'm going to do the same here. So what I liked about the book is the character development. I also enjoyed seeing how the characters were a little bit less absolute in their thinking. This town is very black and white when they're thinking about relationships in particular and how they work. It's very patriarchal. Everything is led by religion. It's still kind of like that now, so it's not surprising, but at the same time, the characters in particular, outside of what's happening in reality, they are trying to do different things. They're exploring themselves. They're exploring themselves outside of what they know. So that's what I appreciated. It's just a shame that it took a book and a half and all the way like 80% into this one for it to get to that point. I also enjoyed how I did not know the twists, or not even the twist, like the mystery. There's a mystery that's central to the book, and I had no idea that this mystery was still happening. It's like I got so lost in all the lies and deceit and cheating that the mystery was an afterthought. But when it came back and resurfaced, I still didn't guess anything. Like, the reveal was completely over my head until it happened. I was like, what? I never would have thought. But it was clever. I give you that much, Miss Mary Monroe. I give you that much. Dislikes. So what I disliked about the book is we're still lying and we're still cheating. No, we're still lying and still cheating. It's so frustrating that the book is mostly that, and because that's something that's a cause of a contention for me, that's why this book and most of the series was a turn off. But it's fine. I was able to push past it, get through the book. I'm great. But if that's not a problem for you, I think that you would enjoy this book. It'll be fine. So when it comes to people that I recommend this book to, I would recommend it to anyone who enjoys historical fiction. If you are already a fan of the books written by Mary Monroe, if you already read the second book, I recommend it to you as well. Try it out. Try like a couple of chapters and see if you like it. I also recommend it to anyone that's just nosy in particular. Like, you don't care what's happening. You want to know and be in everybody's business. This is for you. You like mess? This is for you. And it's not too long of a book. I think it's like 320 pages, so you should be okay. I think if I were really concentrating on just the book and not other ones as well, I could have finished it in one day. So yeah, this book has its audience. The series has its audience. And I am looking forward to seeing the fourth book that's going to be set in this town or this world in Lexington, Alabama. It comes out March 26th, 2024. That's what I've seen on Goodreads and Storygraph. So if I'm able to get my hands on the arc, I most likely will be reading it and reviewing it just to see how different it is being in another set of characters, because being with these two characters for 2 books, actually 3 books, it was a lot. It was pretty stressful, but it was okay. I'm not saying it was a great time. It was all right time. So with that being said, I'm going to end it here. I'm at 9 minutes. I'm doing well. I'm going to let you go. Yay, I made it to the 10-minute mark. Before I leave, you know what I'm going to say? Drink your water. Mind the business is yours. And continue reading beyond the book's cover. All right, talk to you later. Bye.